There has been so much drama this past week in regards to the Olympics and boxing, mostly based around the two fighters who have the XY chromosome but are competing in the female division. The first thing I want to say to everybody here, if you've watched my channel enough, you know I'm not here to bash people, I'm not here to make people's lives miserable. And Khelif, I was very simply misinformed in the first video. I looked up 5 articles, 5 of them, and they all said transgender. I went, oh, must be true. Then I realized XY chromosome. But I don't want this video to be about that drama and that argument. I just simply want to watch this athlete and see how she does. I want to see what, as an observer, somebody who is in the fight world, who I think I'm pretty darn good at looking at people and going, skill level, all this kind of stuff, making evaluations of them, I want to see. So we're going to jump into the semi-final fight. Khelif is fighting an opponent from Thailand. The winner of this gets into the silver or gold medal match. So let's jump into this straight away. And yeah, everybody in the comments, I know you have your opinions. I have mine. And I still don't know 100% what to make of this situation because all the scientists and experts and doctors that I've talked to, they all have differing opinions. I don't think there's a black and white. It's more of a gray, but let's just enjoy the skill set of both these athletes. So keep the comments positive, please. We don't need people getting mean or vicious. You can, of course, say what you believe, but you say it respectfully. And I'm going to throw some highlights up of the fight, of course. Let you guys see what I'm seeing, the best moments. A lot of times fights have little moments that are noteworthy, but aside from that, you'll get the gist from my expressions, my reactions. Khelif is in the blue. The opponent from Thailand is in the red. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name from Thailand. It's so long. I'll just say the opponent from Algeria and the one from Thailand. So 2 minutes and 50 seconds left in the round. Because of the height difference, the Thai fighter is going to have to be very explosive in and out or enter with head off the center line. Most likely have to be fairly aggressive when you're the shorter fighter, or very good at counters. Stiff jab there from Khelif lands. Smile from the opponent from Thailand. One of the things that I didn't realize, but really should have when I went to Thailand to train, is they have great boxers. When I was there doing the Muay Thai and they would put me in to box against those Muay Thai fighters, I would go, man, their hands are not good. But they have many athletes who have great hands. If you could take an Olympic boxer and put them into Muay Thai, give them the kicks, oh my, that would be scary. Because usually, as you guys know, I say, if you're going to fight up with a Thai fighter, you got to box him up. Imagine if you couldn't, if you had this skill set. Nothing of note so far really having landed. Aside from that jab from Khelif, they're both measuring distance. Just keeping that range really on point, and that's a big part when you only have 2 weapons. But really in any fight sport is, if you can control range, be just outside the zone, just like that. So a little bit of evasion with a little bit of head movement, you can mix aspects together of the fight game. That's what takes you to the next level. Not just head movement, or just footwork, or just distance control, or just counters. Putting all of that together. Still really anybody's round at this point. One big shot could win it. I think now in the Olympics they're scoring based off damage and not points, which is the way it should be. I didn't like watching before. I would just go one person threw a couple little pitter-patter point fighting sort of shots and would win the round. The other person would land 1 or 2 big ones. Should all be about damage. It's just such a feel-out round though. Khelif landed a good cross hook there. So that one most likely would have won the round if nothing else massive happens. Then the shorter fighter is just waiting, the shorter fighter from Thailand, of course, is just waiting a little bit too much right now. Seems a little hesitant to open up, and while doing a good job controlling the distance, also not closing the distance well. And a shorter fighter, I mean, you gotta close that distance explosively with the head off the center line, or you gotta get super aggressive with your counters. And grabbing the nose of Khelif and pulling it up, probably to open up the passageway through the nose. Corners can help their fighters breathe. I've never actually seen that before, the lift, but there are other tactics. Sometimes people use nose strips. There's a couple good shots there from Khelif that definitely took round number one. I think more often than not, you don't really, at least in my experience watching the Olympics, you don't really see see, they put out scorecards here, so they actually tell you who won the round. So Khelif did. Definitely won that round. Yeah, a lot of times in boxing, Olympics, it's not about knockdowns, and it's not scored very high, I don't think, in the sense of a normal fight. So I feel like the action is not quite as spectacular, although the opponent from Thailand came out hard there. Didn't land anything great, but came out hard. But yeah, a lot of times the action I just find a little less exciting than a pro fight. Maybe the gloves are a little bigger, a little cushier. I don't know what it is. I'd like to see the Thai opponent close the distance a little more with some fakes previously. It's kind of like I'm not moving, I'm controlling distance, and then she just springs in. But a little fakes now and then, just twitching away. See, those hands just stayed up. Like right from there, straight in, just a little twitch. There's one. But Khelif doing a good job as well as the longer fighter, just backing up to create the space. Good cross there from Khelif. Uppercut lands. These females as well, they're fighting right at my weight class. Granted, when I compete, I'm cutting the weight the day before, and I don't know if they have to make weight every day. I'm not sure how that works, or just on competition days. Khelif with good movement there, cutting the angle. Little side step one way, side step the other, side step one way, side step the other. Surprising. You might not think it makes a big difference, but for some people, just kind of chasing that opponent, just be like, it just gives them something to think about, and then that's your opportunity to attack. Well, there's the first punch that the Thai fighter landed that was substantial at all. Didn't necessarily win the exchange because some other punches were coming in, but that was the first one where I went, okay, you landed something, you did something. So right off those, the jabs from Khelif, got a counter. Ten seconds left in round number two. It's so much easier to sit here though. To sit here and say what should be done. Having been inside the ring so many times, you always know. Everybody on the outside is telling you what you should do. Gabriel, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And you're just like, it's a lot harder in the moment, so it's easy for me to sit here and say what this red corner opponent should be doing. When you're in there, different story. It was just kind of blow for blow because the last shot that Khelif threw there was blocked by the right hand. Got the third and final round. I'm sure they'll give us a scorecard here, but I don't see how that wouldn't be Khelif's round. And it was. So I don't know how they score in the Olympics. If there's a chance of getting a 10-8 round, like, do you have to knock the person down? I don't know if they do that. My understanding of scorecards is not great. Or score rules. Because every time you take a small difference in rule set, it can change things dramatically. You might not think it, but it does. Good left hook there. It's a nice situation to be in. Obviously, these fighters want to go for the gold medal, but you're fighting now and you're like, even if I lose, I still get a bronze. I always thought it was kind of odd. They give out 2 bronze medals. But as far as I know, it's only in boxing that does that. They don't have to do like a final 3rd place match. You lose the semifinal, trying to get into that final bout, bronze medal. There's a couple nice punches from red corner opponent, hook cross, but Khelif just doing a good job of twitching those arms, faking. So watching the other day who was good at that. Oh, it was Terrence Crawford's opponent. I can't remember his name, but he just fought the other day, and he's constantly tying in his footwork with little arm movements. Really hard to read when he's going to go. Nice head movement right there. Coming down to the last minute. This is kind of how I associate Olympic boxing, where I'm like, okay, you know, they're going at a fast pace and such, but damage-wise, it doesn't look like anybody really gets battered up. I just did a video the other day talking about headgear in the Olympics and how it's only females who are wearing headgear. That was simply because there was a test done years ago, a little study saying that, you know what, the headgear doesn't help prevent concussions, but they only did the study on men, so they haven't actually changed the rule set for females. Odd thing to do. I think kind of like a human's a human in terms of impact. Throwing down now. Good exchange. Oh, she got a count. That's the other thing I don't like about the Olympics, is like if your head gets snapped, they give you a count. But the person might not really be hurt. Just because you got your head snapped back doesn't mean you're actually hurt. So on the judges' scorecards, it'll most likely be a 10-8. Well, that will be a 10-8 round. So we'll have a 30, what would that be? 30-26, I guess, will be the final scorecard. Dominance from Khelif. Of course, you can draw your own conclusions from why that is, but skill set wise, it was fun watching. Yeah, I'm going to definitely be sure to tune into the gold medal match. I'm not sure when that is, but be interested to see how far Khelif goes and just see the continued story behind this event. This is interesting. Might not be something that everybody, you know, wants to talk about anymore, but it is an interesting story, and when there's drama behind something, it's interesting to be a part of it, to watch it, to see it transpire. So that's it, guys. We'll call it there. I'll see you guys back here soon for another episode.